Today's the first day of September. And Rusty said, I know August wasn't what you hoped it would be on the air, but you've got a fresh chance today to make it. So,
forget the nightmare that was August.
Yes, and I just looked at like, what?
What?
What was so bad about August? You know, that's how I think. That's how I always. So now I'm just, in my head, it was like, how bad was August?
Yeah.
Now you're looking backward.
Of course, yes, that's exactly right. I told Chris.
You're not here.
But you have to move forward. This is your time. This is you and Weather Dave's favorite time.
The Burrs.
Yeah.
The Burrs begin today.
Listen, Biggie, you brought it up, and I didn't want to even say anything about it, but clearly things have changed. You guys don't, well, I guess you didn't want to argue in front of the kids, me and Biggie, but you and Dave have done zero chatter about the Burrs, about football season, Eaton season.
Well, Dave and I call
That's all you live for.
the last 4 months of the year our favorite: September, October, November, December. We call them the Burrs. That was a Jeopardy
Gonna catch on.
Well, yeah, that was a Jeopardy thing the other night. They're known as the Embers because the last four. Anyway, we call them the Burrs. But you know, I think this pandemic has taken all of us just out of our games entirely for the last 18 months.
Right, all the old routines are gone.
So they're gone. So we don't even, it's like, I look at football now and it's like, oh, is it time for football? Okay, I'll watch it.
Okay.
I haven't even done much fantasy prep. You know, I got another draft tomorrow night. It's like, okay, I'll do it.
Yeah, you're the only person I know who has, on like 5 different leagues, but has openly said, I have no idea what I'm doing. I don't know who this person is that I'm drafting.
That's right.
Now, what if this strategy pays off in all 5 leagues?
I might win. That's a real possibility.
This could.
That would be a great awakening for me, I guess.
You know what you are this season? You're the girl who works in the office that just, they need one more. So they're like,
to fill out the
they're
league.
like, oh, okay. Hey, Tina, you want to join the league?
You don't have to be there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about football. And she wins.
You're right.
Yeah, because she'll auto draft. She won't know anything. She'll
I know.
forget to set her lineup, but, you know, she'll win.
And I've got coming up here in this segment the 5 things to look forward to in September. But when I look at them, it's just like, well, I kind of look forward to that, I guess. One of them's NFL season opening up here in about 10 days.
One of them better not be the first day of fall.
It is not. We're not going to go into the first day of fall, I can tell you that. And Chris Demm noticed this. It's so true. He always says, I never want to be where I am, okay? In time. I'm always like, oh, I miss the holidays. Oh, summer's over. I hate it. Or, oh, no, now it's summer. Gross. You know, it's so hot.
Or on the other side of the coin, I wish I could go back to high school. I wish I could go back to college. I wish.
A lot of that.
You know where you never are?
Present.
Right here.
Right here.
And what is your wife's biggest critique of you?
You're not
other
present.
than your cheapness.
You're not present. You are not. You need to be present. She thinks I look too much at my phone when she's talking. All these kinds of things, you know. You're not.
She's talking.
Yeah, sometimes.
Wow.
A lot of times as she's going
That's
on.
ballsy.
I kind of hide it below a pillow.
Oh, that's smart.
But risky, Biggie.
Yeah.
As a married man, that is a risk.
That really is. And so many times she'll say, like, okay, I'm getting ready to go out with the girls. And I'll say, what are you talking about? She's like, I told you this last week and again yesterday. I knew you weren't listening. I mean, that happens a lot.
I sent it to your calendar.
I mean, a lot. She'll say something and I'll say, I didn't heard about that. I told you this yesterday. I'll tell you what she's the queen of, too. She'll say something like, we should watch this show, White Lotus. And I'll be like, maybe. Yeah. Let's watch this show, White Lotus. Put it off. Then Biggie will say, I just watched a new show, White Lotus. Let's watch it. And, you should watch it. And I'll go home and say, Biggie told me about this new show we should watch. That tears her up. She's like, I've been saying that. I do that all the time. I'll credit one of you. Kristen was saying something about the pandemic. I told you that. A lot of that.
Somebody said something at work, I think.
Yeah. Oh, no.
It's just because you're so used to just, to her. You don't even hear it.
I know. I've got to refocus on my family. I've got to refocus on my priorities. The month ahead. Right.
The show ahead.
August.
This very segment.
Right. The train wreck that was August is over. It is time to get into the Burrs.
I didn't think it was that bad.
I don't know what he meant. Rusty. Thank God you can put August behind you now. It was so awful.
I don't know.
It was all right. I didn't notice anything anyway. But here's what I did. Chris Demm noticed this too. The the meteorologists we were watching on the local news, and a lot of them do this. She was like, 21 days till fall. And she said it 2 or 3 times. Oh, just 21 days till fall. They never want to be where they are either. It's always like Christmas right around the corner. The holidays are coming up. But you never, and when it's not fall and when it's winter, they'll be like, oh, spring in just 25 days, just 80 days till spring. They always do that. They never want to be where they are, just like me.
Retail stores do it.
I know.
They're already probably putting out Christmas.
Big time.
Then it'll be by Christmas they'll be clearing out Christmas to put in Valentine. I mean, it's just
that's right.
never ending. I got one of those Christmas countdown emails this morning from a company that's like, "Hey, it's time to start planning for the holidays."
It's the burst.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh!"
But, well, what was it? Probably 10 or 12 days ago now, the first pumpkin spice stuff came out. And Bud Light just unveiled their pumpkin spice hard seltzer for the fall.
Okay.
That's out nationwide.
Well,
something tells me that might sell.
You think?
Yeah, I'm with you because let me tell you, pumpkin beer is giant.
Big.
Giant, yes.
Yeah. So Bud is doing, next week, they'll start selling variety packs called the Fall Flannel Collection. 4 flavors: pumpkin spice, maple pear, apple crisp, and toasted marshmallow. Or you can buy them individually if you'd like, a pack of 4 of any of them. But you get the variety pack there.
It'd be fun I might do a taste test on those for fun.
Well, you've got a little podcast called Big Foodies. You might, get a little buzz while you're at it.
Has the White Claw world added pumpkin to their flavor profiles?
A lot of flavors there. I bet so.
I don't know. I have not seen it.
Still the king by a mile.
Yeah, I haven't seen a pumpkin though.
Maybe Budweiser's trying to get started with something.
Yeah, Budweiser has. What I've noticed is they do these packs like that. Like they did a summer flare pack or a summer retro pack.
Yes.
So I think Bud is kind of cornering the market on here's different flavors every season.
I like that. And those flavors, the pumpkin spice and certainly the maple pear and apple crisp, those sound like things I would try. Very, very girly.
Yeah,
I would. Those are my types of things. That's
holding court on the beach in late September.
Shoot,
It's a beautiful time of year.
Sitting around a bonfire.
That's right. You have a couples trip coming up.
I know, and then again, there's another one just kind of sneaking up. It's like, all right, we'll get away for a couple of days. That'll be fine. We'll do that. But it just, things are a little bit dragged down now, and these numbers go in the opposite direction than you want to see. Yesterday, during garbage time, got back into the ivermectin conversation. I was inundated with emails about that. It's just, you step in a landmine everywhere you go on things like that. And I had a little piece of gossip about somebody we sort of know. And I can't give it out here. And it's
not our story to tell.
Not our story to tell at all. But naturally, I was gossip.
You'll share it with everyone off the air.
Right.
Yeah.
Boy, I was gossip
caught
girl.
up in it.
Talk about a gossip girl. That's what Chris Demm called me, gossip girl. I was like,
you're the reboot.
You ain't gonna believe.
Yeah, it even horned its way into our text stream we have.
I got a little piece of information on so-and-so. But I don't know this person, really.
Not enough to talk to.
No, not enough to
tell this story.
But there's somebody who they've left a job and moved far away, and then it didn't work out, and now they were offered their original job back, but they didn't go back to it because they had already left and said goodbye. And the feeling was, well, if you come back and sort of admitting defeat, it's a little bit embarrassing, that kind of thing. And I told Christian, look, I did that. Left the job, left right here.
Gosh, twice?
Just once did I leave. Isn't that right? I didn't once, did I? Once.
Well, you left the job you loved twice.
I left the job.
The previous show, you did leave it twice. Once for television and then for this program.
Oh, well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, for this program, yes.
So you had to leave 3 jobs.
Yeah.
In the span of about a year and a half.
I went to TV thinking that's the future.
Yeah.
That's
where you need to be.
That's where I need to be. Immediately disliked it. I can't tell you. I was on a radio show that was doing pretty well right here.
Yeah, it was a hit show.
Hit show, different show. I was on it, enjoyed it, but thought TV's the future. TV is where I need to be.
I don't want to put words in your mouth, envisioned yourself as the next Dave Letterman.
I really wanted that. I did, yeah. I thought, I'll go over here and do this little entertainment report and move myself up the ladder. That didn't happen at all. And as soon as I got there, it was not even close to what I'd hoped it would be. Not for me. Other people really like it. I didn't love it. So 4 months later, the guy who replaced me on the show, it didn't work out. So they said, hey, what do you think?
You don't want to tuck your tail between your legs and come back to the job you left in tears, do you?
I was going to ask who said hey first.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
But I waited. I mean, the guy was leaving.
You start calling him in the night.
Yeah.
Not saying anything when he'd answer.
Yeah.
I know it's you.
Yeah.
I know you want to come home.
I called the radio host, the mentor, and I just said, he goes, well, it's not working out with the new guy. He's leaving. He's like, I don't know what we're going to do to replace him. And I said, well, I got an idea. How about me? And he's like, you? And I said, yeah, maybe me. He's like, really? Well,
Maybe come back.
Right. Well, an hour later, the boss called, the general manager called and said, I heard you're begging to come back.
Wait a second.
And here come those tears again.
So he goes, come on back in. Let's sign something here.
Yeah.
So I come in, I sit in his office. Chris Demm saw me bawling, just
Literally licking his wounds.
crying. I had no, I didn't have any humility. I had no pride
None.
whatsoever. Came walking right back in and said,
Took a pay cut.
Took a pay cut, and came on back in and said, yeah, I want to come back. Now, then I went to the TV station, and I'm so afraid to do anything, like quit. I went to the TV station and said, and the radio station said, you can work there too if you want to. Because I was on mornings, and I was on nights at TV. So they said, you make it work. Do both. TV station said, nah, you're not going to whore us out like that.
Yeah.
You're not going to go back to radio and whore us out.
Yeah.
No way.
We're above that.
Exactly. And so I cried when I quit. I cried when I was rehired. And then, so dumb of it. This was the dumbest move I made. The newspaper interviewed me. And I said I prayed about it, which was not true.
Why did you say that?
I don't know. I said, I feel like God really spoke to me. I don't know why. It's like
Why did you
So
ever?
that quote somewhere in the archives.
Yeah. I felt like, I think I took quotes from other people, and said, I'll say this and I'll say that.
Was this Kelly can ask, was this when the newspaper reporter talked with you, was it face-to-face or on the phone?
Phone. And, but he's also, he really kept digging. I thought it was just going to be a little puff, nothing. And he really kept asking me, well, so tell me about your conversation with God. I was like, well, I just, I said, what do you think I should do? God said, go on back to your first love. I did.
Yeah.
And then he said, well, what do you want?
I spoke with God. He said that that did not happen.
He said, well, what are you hoping to do once you go back to radio? And I said, oh, I want to contribute more. I want to do like all these different things. And I listed like, I want to long-term plans of building relationships, networking, all these types of things. So, and I said I wanted to keep better record keeping and really make the morning show something special. So when I got back, the guy that had rehired me said, all right, start doing all that stuff. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, go ahead. Go start networking. And I mean, he had the article. He's like, well, God told you to do this. Go do it.
Yeah.
What a terrible idea. Because you're just trying to I was just trying to say something.
Yeah, to make yourself look good.
Of course. I just wanted to say something that sounded good. They actually all held me to it. And then I had to start doing more stuff for less money. Yeah.
Oh, less money.
Oh, yeah. I took a pay cut. I came back in, cried at the desk, and they said, well,
things have changed since you left.
yeah, obviously they're going to cut your pay. Okay, that sounds good. And I came on back in. That was tough, but I did it. I told Chris Demm I would come on back. So this little piece of gossip I have about somebody,
It's about work.
Yeah, being offered their job back, I would take it. Chris Demm said not many people have the lack of fortitude that I do.
Yeah.
The lack of self-respect.
Demonstrable spine.
I took it back and never looked back. Stayed right here. This company owns both stations, so here I am on this station.
Did you feel like when you worked, did you think TV was going to be more fast-paced than it was?
Yes. I did local news.
I think there's a lot more sitting around than you realize.
You're exactly right. I did local news, and as Chris Demm said, I thought that'd be a springboard to some cable TV. I was like, I'm going to go and really do this, And what local news is, at least for me, I was like the entertainment reporter. Very low. I mean, the news took center stage, without question. So you would type out my 2 or 3 stories. I got like 2 minutes on the air. I'd be done. I'd do the 5 o'clock report. I'd be done for the 10 o'clock by 7:30 and just sit around mostly. I would sit.
That's what I picture.
And then at 10 o'clock, if some breaking news story, they'd wipe you out. They'd be like, okay, you're out for tonight. So you didn't go home. And the 6 hours you sat there would have been wasted. Or we'd go out and do a story, which I never liked. You know, you go out and like interview people and all that, and then you're sitting around and then you have to edit it and all that stuff. And then right at the last minute, you're like, okay, now it's really hurry up and go. You know, it's like hurry up and wait is what it is. But it wasn't for me. I didn't like it at all. And it never sprung me to the late night show.
No, it didn't happen.
No. I really thought that would happen.
And now, I mean, think of it now. If you look at a lot of local television stations, their news is now on half the day.
It's enormous.
So you got nothing but time to fill.
That's right.
And you're out of the business.
And I'm out. That's true. I could be
nothing space filler.
That's right.
Yeah.
I could probably now do like a 4 o'clock.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you know, because
there's so much room.
I know. It's really true. And I have been contacted by an old professor of mine. He's retiring. And he says, I think you'd be a good adjunct professor over at local university to teach radio and television. And I'm going to try that. I'm going to go for that.
Okay.
I'm going to try to be the professor to teach radio TV. And
what you going to wear?
Well, I'm interviewing today.
Well,
yeah.
Where you've got your T-shirt hanging out from both of your
Yeah,
sleeves
yeah.
and the bottom of your shirt.
I noticed that too. It's a bad look.
I think the
bad
first
look.
question I'll ask you is, how long have you had a drinking problem? Why would you ask that? Yeah, just your wardrobe.
I guess residence won't be an issue. You live in your car, right?
I mean, I got. There's a couple of things I need to clean up first, but then I'm ready. I'm ready to get in there and teach you.
How often per week are we looking at?
So preliminary. I don't know. I was thinking 2 or 3 classes a week, maybe more. I'm not sure.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
I know a few people who do this.
Adjunct professor.
Yes. And it is a lot more work than you'd ever realize.
I bet that's true. Well, my wife's a teacher. I've seen how much work she puts in to doing the job.
But I think even just that one class, you don't realize how much time you are going to be spending.
That's probably true.
And I say, go for it.
Well, exactly. I think I'm going to try.
Do you think you can speak to today's youth?
Well, I've got my son there for me. You know, we speak together.
Yeah.
And he
helps.
Yeah. Again yesterday, he told me, again, we were racing on the treadmill at the gym, and he beat me, and I said, good job. And he said, ratioed. And that means you lose. When he says ratioed, it means you've lost the argument, you've lost the race, whatever it might be. And he got me on that.
Yeah.
I don't
know that I'll ever be able to use that in a sentence.
That's a real tough one. Yeah. Very difficult.
You know, today's college student, too, I'm just going to put this out there, is a lot more woke than you are.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. So I'm just
fair enough.
You know, you dealing with pronouns and you know, names.
You know,
because there's so many names now that could be a boy or a girl, and you just.
My son said the first day of high school, everybody went around and said their pronouns, so the teacher could get it. And he's 2 or 3. They, them.
Really?
Yeah, they had to go around and say your name, something interesting about yourself, and your pronouns. I think public school makes the teachers do that.
Interesting.
Yeah. Isn't that something?
It is. And I mean, you are better at technology than I am, but that's a low bar.
Yeah.
And what worries me is how much technology has advanced, because all I can recall is way back when I was taking college courses in radio and television. The instructors were helplessly behind the times.
True.
They didn't know.
That's right.
What a current radio or television station looked like.
Well, I think that gives me an advantage. I'm sitting here in a current radio station.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Was that system?
Sort of. Well, this system got put in the late 90s. The system I'm looking at here was put in
the brains of this operation.
1997.
Yeah, the new systems the colleges have.
I might have to learn that.
There are college stations that are more advanced than we are.
I mean, for a couple of years there, we went to and broadcast from a broadcasting school.
Fact.
And their technology was mind-blowing. In fact, I remember we wandered the halls as a group going, man, that's nice. You guys don't have that? No. Wait, what's that? Oh, that's awesome.
Fair enough. That's
Yeah.
true. I
I mean,
hadn't thought
you've
about
got
that.
you've got some challenges. I don't think you can just waltz in there and just tell your old war stories.
Yeah. Which is what you want.
It is.
Yeah.
That's my whole plan. That's lesson one.
You know, you've sort of pictured yourself as Indiana Jones with the co-eds making eyes
That's
at you.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Exactly.
Remember that girl in Raiders? I think that's such a great scene. She's like put "love you" on her
Love
eyelids,
you.
on her eyelids,
eyes.
Yeah.
and then she blinks real long, and he stares at it. He says "love you" written on her eyelids. God, I'd forgotten about that. Yes, I'll wear the old fedora in, see what happens. You know?
Honey, where's my tweed jacket with the patches on the elbows?
You better believe I'm wearing that. I want that job. I really want to speak to today's youth. I told you at this age I'd be teaching. I told you. That's
You
what I wanted.
did.
That's
You've
that.
always threatened it.
That's right. That's exactly right. Anonymous, you're talking about being a professor at university. Go ahead.
I was an adjunct at a local community college, and you've got to understand, you get paid per contact hour. So you're only paid while in the classroom. So all that grading papers, all that homework, you don't get paid for because you're not on salary. You're on hourly.
Man.
And you get paid once a month. And I taught 5 classes a week, and I made $1,700 a month.
Okay, 5 classes a week, 1,700 a month, and you're doing probably a full time. I mean, you're doing 40 hours a week, probably just grading papers and stuff. Well,
Yeah, really. It's a lot of time management, and if the kids have lots of questions, you're going to end up doing a lot of work at home.
Oh boy.
Are you still teaching?
No, I couldn't afford to teach anymore.
Yeah. Got to do something else. Well, I
Are there
appreciate
any
that.
perks?
Yeah. What's the good thing about giving back?
The good thing was seeing the students when they finally understood what was going on.
Yeah.
That little moment when everything clicks and you can tell they get it.
Yep. That's what my wife says.
I get it.
Very rewarding when you can really teach something like
Really
that.
break through on a person.
Exactly. Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate that. Well, I'm going to see what it's all about. I'm going to go for it and just see what happens, and see where it goes. And hopefully, you might be talking to Professor Kelly here.